Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's LinkedIn Live Monday with Nancy Fox of Fractional Connections. Hello, how are you? I'm going to be streaming today through StreamYard. And if you're on LinkedIn and you do catch this, I would love for you to let me know in the comments. It does take a few minutes for the stream to go through. But I'm so happy to be with you on Monday again. Hope you had a great weekend. It's rather unusual here in California. We have a fogged-in day, so it's the first day in months and months where it's overcast, which is really, really strange. So today, by the way, we have a number of events coming up, and I posted all of these events on my profile page on LinkedIn and in our Fractional Connections group. If you're a fractional executive and you haven't joined, if you're a fractional and you haven't joined our Fractional Connections group, please do reach out and I'll send you an invitation. Hello, hi Shuvik, how are you? Welcome. We're happy to have you. So today I'm going to talk to you about a topic that, if you are a professional, if you're a service provider, if you're a fractional executive, if you're a consultant, we all are interested in this topic. We all are interested in having testimonials, in getting recommendations, in getting social proof for our business. All of us want this. We all are eager to get more and more of them. Why is this? Because today, customers and clients are not making any decisions. They're looking for information online before they actually engage people. So even when they have a discovery call with you that goes really, really great, they're still looking for social proof. And it's really about, there's so much information and so many opportunities out there that people really feel more compelled than ever to get reinforcement for their decisions. And so that social proof, those recommendations are becoming more and more important, right? But as business owners, we're very busy. And we also feel a little uncomfortable asking people for testimonials, asking people for recommendations. It's a little unnerving, right? We don't really want to come off as needy or pleading or begging in any way. We don't want to feel salesy or pushy. We don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. And yet we really want that. We definitely want those. We certainly want that kind of feedback, and we want those recommendations, and we want people to be able to see them. So how do we do this? How do we do this without making other people feel uncomfortable? How do we do this without feeling like we are being sort of salesy and pushy and slimy, right? And I know that when I first started my business, it was very, very uncomfortable because I didn't have clients yet, right? How am I going to get clients and give social proof and get recommendations when I don't have clients yet? So there's that catch-22. But there are a lot of ways that you can attract and gather feedback and recommendations and social proof that will help you in your business, even if you don't have your first client or even a lot of clients, or even if your clients have not given you recommendations yet. There are a number of ways. I'm going to go through at least 5 strategies today to help you get to that place where you're going to get a lot of feedback and wonderful and favorable feedback that's going to support people and encourage them in engaging you. So the first thing I want to share with you today is that we have to really understand what's going on for people when they are presented with either the idea of, or the request for, or the option to provide a testimonial or a recommendation. So we have to remember what's going on for them. Number one, they're very busy and they're focused primarily on their own business and themselves. So to interrupt the pattern of them working on their business and to have them be thinking about giving you a testimonial or a recommendation, it sort of interrupts their own flow. They're working on themselves. People are used to working on themselves and not working on other people, right? And it's not because they're selfish or because they're not interested or they're not generous. It's just that they're pretty much grappling with all of these distractions around them, and they're just tending to focus on their own issues, their own challenges, their own goals. So we need to understand, respect, and appreciate the fact that they're not really disinterested in helping us, but that they've got their own priorities. The second part about this is that we have to recognize that people really often do not know what to say in writing a testimonial or in speaking about a testimonial on video. Or some people really feel very uncomfortable. Like a lot of times people are being requested to give a video testimonial, and it's very, very uncomfortable for them. They don't want to be on video. Maybe they would prefer to provide a testimonial in writing. And very often they don't really know what to say. So what can we do to help them about this? That's the other, we really want to be as supportive of people and their own issues and their own needs when we're in the process of seeking out and gathering and attracting testimonials and recommendations. So just remember that, think for yourself, when was the last time you gave someone a recommendation? Think about the amount of thought and real strategy you needed to put into writing something that was really relevant, not just like hey, this person was great, I really like working with him or her. I mean, really thoughtful recommendations that are going to truly make a difference for you in your business. It really takes some effort. So we can make this situation a lot easier for people if we're very strategic about it and if we do some of our own planning around it. So here are some strategies. I want you to be, first of all, I want you to recognize that there are more than just asking for testimonials as a possibility for gaining social proof, and really, really powerful social proof. You can leverage a lot more possibilities than you even realize. So let me give you a few of these that I've gathered over the years that I have found incredibly helpful. So the first one is, yes, you can actually, today we have digital apps that can help us more powerfully attract and gather really good, solid, well-crafted, well-presented testimonials. Services like testimonial.io. Now, if you go to testimonial.io, you can gather a video testimonial, you can get text testimonials, you can do all kinds of, they give you various ways to gather a testimonial, including audio. And there's a rating system, the 5-star rating system as well. So that's a really good thing. I really like that rating system. If you are able to find an app that has the 5-star rating system, that rating system alone makes the testimonial really easy. That just alone, we're so used to, sometimes we don't even need to get all the detail, but the rating system alone will make us feel more inclined to work with someone or hire them. So using a testimonial app is one strategy. Will it cost you something? Yes, although testimonial.io does have a free version, and there are some limitations to it, but yes, you can get the free version and then you can get the paid version. So that's one way to I'm going to give this to you I'm going to help you to remember these. You can use a testimonial app. The second way is to actually have a feedback template ready for your clients, and have it ready and crafted in such a way that they just fill in the blanks. And you want to pose your question on your feedback template in such a way that it's easy for them to fill in the blanks and give you the right kind of information, and very specific. The more specific people can be in giving you their feedback, the better it is for you and your business. It's really great the more specific. And very often when people are giving you feedback, they're giving you feedback, but it's not the feedback that you actually want them to focus on. You might want them to be focusing on a particular strategy that they had a breakthrough in, and they don't even mention it in the testimonial. So you want to be crafting your feedback template in such a way that they're answering the questions in the way that you want them to be giving the feedback. And then at the end of that template, you can have a line that you can call it a feedback template, so it doesn't say the word testimonial or recommendation, so they don't feel pressure. They can give you honest feedback, both pro and con or in between. And then at the end, you can ask them for permission to quote you, and they'll say yes or no. And then you can pick and choose what you want to take out of that feedback template that they've filled out. I love having this, and I make it really, really simple for my clients. And also, I very often will invite them / require them to fill it out, because I want feedback pro and con or in between. and I require them to fill it out before the end of our program, before they can book their final session. So they almost are sort of required to give you some kind of feedback. And I think it's fair to request feedback, because you're not asking them for a testimonial, you are asking them for all of the feedback. And then if they're giving you favorable feedback, you can get their permission to quote them. So that's strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is my favorite. I love this. Thank goodness for LinkedIn. And that is requesting LinkedIn recommendations. So LinkedIn recommendations are found if you scroll down on your LinkedIn profile page. If you keep scrolling down after the section that is called, acknowledgement or something like that. And that's where people can actually acknowledge you for certain skills. They don't have to write anything, but it's the section that follows after, and it's called recommendations. And this is a place where you can give them and you can also receive them. And then there's a plus mark box that you can check, and it will give you the option to request or to give. And if you hit the request box, it will then give you the option of picking the person that you want to receive the recommendation from. So when I request that of a person, whether it be a client or a colleague, and I will actually write something in the box that says something like, I'm requesting a recommendation to get feedback from you about the work that we did together. And if from my recollection, from where I sit, this is what we covered in our work together. And this is what I noticed that you got most out of the work that we did. If that resonates with you, include that in your recommendation. Or if you have other things that you'd like to include, great. Here are some other things that we worked on. So I like to prime the pump for them. I give them some verbiage to start with. And then they can either use it or they can tweak it. Sometimes I'll ask people that I'd love to have a recommendation from you if you feel so inclined to do that. No is not a problem. Or if you say no, that's not a problem. I give them an out. But if you decide to do it, would you prefer that I write something first and then you can tweak it from there? So I really make it simple for people. I give them options. And it will make their lives a lot easier, because remember what I said before, they're really busy and they're self-focused. And it's hard for them always to remember things. And it's hard for them to remember to give you feedback in the way you want to receive it. So LinkedIn recommendations are one of my favorite ways of receiving recommendations. Okay, the 4th way is to really be watching for the online comments that people are making about you and about the work that you're doing and about the benefits that people are getting from reading your posts or watching the work you're doing or watching your videos or whatever, whether it be on YouTube or whether it be on LinkedIn or on Twitter. Pay attention to the comments that they're sharing. And when they're favorable, copy and paste them into a folder and with their name and the date, and then say, I noticed that you made these comments. Thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate it. Would you mind if I use that on my website? Would you be opposed to that? Would it be okay or maybe you would like to actually, would you be open to my sending you a recommendation request on LinkedIn and you posting it there? And then just give it to them in there so that they don't have to think about writing it themselves. It's another really great way. I have a whole folder of things that people have said. And by the way, just this morning, I woke up and checked out my LinkedIn updates. And guess what I got this morning? An unsolicited testimonial from somebody. And I did exactly that. I copied and pasted it and I saved it. And then right after that, I booked a networking meeting with this person. I was so excited to receive that. I didn't know, we've known each other peripherally, but we've never actually had a one-on-one. And that opened up a door to a whole new conversation. So definitely make sure that you pay attention to the comments that people are sharing with you online. And my 5th point for you is to give recommendations. Nothing makes people more interested and open to giving you a recommendation than them receiving one from you. I love giving recommendations on LinkedIn to my clients. Number one, I'm always very clear about the growth and the attributes, their positive attributes and their skills and their talents. And I love sharing them with my network and with their network. So I love to give all my clients and my colleagues recommendations. And the more that I think about that, the more I receive them as well. So it's really, these are 5 different ways that you can start generating social proof and testimonials online. And definitely remember that it's a process. And so you can just pick one of these 5 or pick 2 of them and start putting them into play and start using them. But one thing I want you to remember is that social proof is it's people look at social proof very differently today. It used to be where people would request, can you give me a referral? Can you share a reference with me? And 9 times out of 10, you would go to all the trouble of pulling together the references and the phone numbers and all of that. And people wouldn't even bother reaching out to the people because people are time strapped. So that's why social proof online is the way to go today. And you don't have to feel like you're begging or pleading, because you're always inviting people, you're asking, you're requesting in a very, very classy and in a way that gives people an opportunity to provide that information to you, and they're not required to. And you're helping them so they don't have to actually, they don't have to go to the, they don't have to work really hard at giving you this feedback. And I always like to give people the out. If they don't feel comfortable doing it, if they don't feel comfortable being quoted, I give them the out and I say, it's really no problem if you decide to say no. It's no worries. I'm just requesting, and if it's okay with you, great. And if it isn't, no problem. And so I always give people that out because they do have the prerogative. Maybe there are some things they don't want to share about you, but I certainly think it would be, when they don't, it's really good to just find out, is there something you'd like to share with me that I can learn or grow from? And that's a great opportunity for you as well. All right, everybody. So I don't see anybody on, I hope this has really gotten through on LinkedIn. I don't really know. I hope it's connected. I'm going to find out in a little bit. It will be posted on LinkedIn, and we're going to find out if it actually did stream through. I hope so. If you're with me, give me a shout out. But if you're not, it's going to be posted on LinkedIn. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you get value out of it. If you have any questions about your requesting or obtaining testimonials and social proof, please reach out to me. You can DM me on LinkedIn, or you can actually just post, you can do a comment when this post goes up after the broadcast is over. All right, next week I have a special guest. Larry Lamott, who is an entrepreneur, a growing entrepreneur, an SMB, who is in the scale up mode, and he's going to be talking to us about hiring fractional executives, why he did that, and what he's gotten out of it. So you definitely want to tune in for that. All right, everybody, have a fantastic rest of the week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Nancy Fox, Fractional Connections.